Hi, I'm Kay of Kay's Creative Home. Welcome back to my channel. In today's episode of How to Make a Bow, I like to show you how to take the bows we've been making and put them on your gift boxes so that they can make beautiful presents for the Christmas holiday. All right, let's get started. Hi, it's Kay. Welcome back to my channel. And if this is your first time here, we welcome you with open arms. Today we're going to make some bows for these boxes, these gift boxes, and we're going to do some of the bows that I've already shared in my How to Make a Bow series. So these boxes I always keep on hand, some plain white boxes, and you can get them after Christmas on sale for, little to nothing. So I'm going to take out 3 different sizes and we're going to use some different bows and kind of show you how these bows can be used on your presents. So the first thing I'm going to do is assemble the 3 boxes, and what I usually do is prep some boxes for gifts. So these will be decorated today with just bows. I'm not going to use wrapping paper. We can do that in another video. And then I'm going to put them under the tree just as a part of the decorations. Now, what I love about doing this for decorations is that they're already ready for gifts. So I don't tape them together. As you'll see later, I can always open them up later and just slide a gift inside. So as I'm continue to shop and I find things, the box is already prepared. I bring it home. I added some tissue paper and slide the gift in there, and voila, the present is ready. And it's nice to have this done ahead of time. Now, because this is a longer box, I decided this would be a good box to make the tailored bow for. So what I'm going to do is first cut my bottom strip. I've measured it along the box to determine how long I want it to be. And I'm just doing the dovetailing on each end of the ribbon. So that's going to be the first layer of my tailored bow. So for the next layer, I've decided to just kind of eye it instead of doing exact measurements. So I've measured off another length of ribbon where it is going to be shorter than that base piece. Doubled it, and now I'm going to catch it right in the middle. You see I folded it over, catch it right in the middle and staple it. And then it's going to sit on top of there just like that. Now, if this is moving too fast for you, I did the tailored bow in part 6 of my How to Make a Bow series. So you can always refer back to that, where I really take my time and walk through each step of how to make this bow. So again, I'm doing the next one by making a loop, stapling it down to hold it, and now I'm going to bring it together there and set it on top of the next one. And I'm going to do one more layer. Again, I'm just kind of holding it out there, trying to make sure it's a little shorter than the loops that are beneath it. This one ended up being too long. I think I had to cut it twice. So I'm not sure if I was overthinking it, but at any rate, I want to make sure each layer is a little bit shorter so that the bow gradually comes in toward the top. So I've got that one together. Now that they're all together, I'm going to make sure they're kind of centered, and then I'm going to staple them together. And I'm going to put the staple toward the middle so that I can, in this case, I decided to gather the bow on each side, and I'll show you that in a minute. All right, so I was trying to decide if I'm going to put a piece in the middle, a loop in the middle, but see how I've decided to gather it? I thought that was kind of cute. So anyway, I'm going to cut a strip. I'm going to fold it into thirds. And because this ribbon is so sheer, it turns out kind of cute because that gold stripping is showing right through. And I think it looks kind of nice. So now what I'm going to do is just wrap this over the center after I've kind of gathered it a bit. Give it a little bit of pinch. Kind of gives it even more of a bow effect. Then I'm just going to wrap that around there. And because it's wired, you know, I've shared in the teaching session how it just bends into shape and kind of holds things in place. So what I'm going to do here is the bow is kind of finished, but I forgot to heat up my hot glue gun. So I'm just put a piece of tape over it for now, hold it in place, and I'm going to plug in my hot glue gun, and we'll come back to this later to actually finish it completely. But that's the idea of how it's going to look. So in looking at the box, I decided it still looked a little plain, so I decided to do another strip of ribbon just going across the box. So I cut a length of ribbon, and then I'm just going to move this bow out the way, take the top off again, and kind of even it out so that it's going across the box. And I got some extra ribbon that I can fold under on both sides, and you can see how that happened underneath. Again, with the wire, I just fold it in place and it kind of holds in place, but I'm going to put a strip of tape along the edge of the ribbon just to hold it in place securely. That way when the box top is lifted off the gift, you know, the ribbon won't be coming off with it. So you can also do this with a dab of glue, but I decided to just go with tape, I guess because I'm used to using tape for wrapping gifts. So now that's on there, I can put the top right back on. And just lay the bow on top for now. Let that hot glue gun get warmed up. Cute, right? So the next bow we're going to make is the 4-loop bow, and that's from part 4 of my series on how to make a bow. So again, if you need to see more instructions, you can refer to that video. There's a link to that entire series in the description box below. So I measured off a 12-inch tail, basically just using the edge of the box, deciding how long I wanted that tail to hang over the edge. And then I made my first loop. I twisted the ribbon, measured out 12 inches, made my second loop, and then I'm going to just go back and forth with that until I've completed this bow. Now, if you're enjoying the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with others. And if you want to see how I do some other DIYs and things for the holiday season, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you'll be notified as each video is released. I will have more for my How to Make a Bow series, and I will have my Christmas tree coming up really soon. So while I've been talking, I took my tinsel stem and just secured the 4-loop bow that I made. And now I'm going to make another 4-loop bow, and I'm going to combine it with the first one. And I could not hold all that ribbon in my hand. Sometimes my hands just don't want to work correctly. They're a little tense, a little tight. So I used a tinsel stem to just hold it in place. Some people call it a pipe cleaner. And now I'm almost finished making the second bow. I'm going to cut the end of the ribbon, and then I'm going to combine both of these together. Just take that tinsel stem off and wrap it around both of these bows together. Now, if you've been enjoying my How to Make a Bow series, please leave me a comment and let me know, especially if you have questions or you have something else you'd like to see. Just let me know. I'll do my best to make the videos that you want to see and need to see. And I want everybody to be successful with making these bows because you kind of need them for a lot of your things you do. Okay, so I'm just taking another strip again and wrapping it around the center of my bow. And that's just to give it a more decorative center. I'm going to fold it over. And right now, to hold it in place, I've twisted the pipe cleaner around it just to hold it in place again. Still waiting for that hot glue to heat up. Hopefully it'll be ready soon. So I'm fluffing my bow, and you know that always can take a while. We try not to over fluff, but because how this one was done one behind the other, it takes a minute to kind of pull the loops up into place where I want them. If I had been able to do it all in my hand, I could have done almost like one bow beside the other, and it would have been a little easier to interloop them. But after a while I decided, you know what, I won't try to just keep forcing it, and especially since I put that centerpiece in, it made it a little harder to pull the loops where I wanted them. So basically the lighter red sheer ribbon stayed closer to the top, and the white printed ribbon with the pine cones stayed a little more toward the back, and it still made a cute bow. Now I chose this bow because the box is a little more square and it kind of fills up the entire top of the box. So I thought it'd be a cute appropriate bow for this box. That tinsel stem that's left, I'm just kind of folding it up underneath. My hot glue is ready, so I'll put a little dab to hold that center ribbon in place. And like I said, I'm just trying to gather up this tinsel stem. You can just cut it off. I don't know why I decided to ball it up underneath there. So at any rate, I got my bow. I'm still trying to shape it up a little bit. And then I'm going to, I decided to go ahead and just take some hot glue and secure it to the top of the box. So the next thing I'm going to do is just take the ends of my ribbon and dovetail them. And if you catch me, you'll see that I actually cut one wrong. Ended up with that point at the end. Sometimes I still have to think which direction I need to cut to get that dovetail in correctly. So as I'm twisting the ribbon here, when I get to the other side, you'll see that I take the scissors and clip it again. Because, yep, I cut it the wrong direction and didn't even notice until I was going back to twist it in place. So it happens to me quite often, as a matter of fact, because I get busy, I get fast, and I'm like, oops, cut that the wrong way. So I got that cut now correctly. I'm just going to kind of gather up the ribbon that's white and the ribbon that's red. I did a little twist. I tried to use tape, it didn't work so well, so here's where I actually take the glue, hot glue, and secure the box. Secure the bow to the top of the box. So now that my glue is hot, I'm just going to go back to the first box and add some glue underneath that bow, holding that little centerpiece in place, and then some glue again to attach the ribbon to the top of the box. And I did not have to go through that lower ribbon because it's so sheer, the glue just goes right through. So it will secure the bow and that strip of ribbon right to the box. So for the third bow, we're going to use this white ribbon with the pine cones again. I'm going to do one strip across lengthwise on the box and then across the box, kind of like a traditional present would be. And again, remember to take the top off so that you can always just go right back in and add your gift. So now that the box is ready, the next thing we're going to do is make a 4-loop bow again, and this time I'm using the Easy Bow Maker because I like to do demonstrations with that too. So I've measured off my tail, and then I added the did a twist and made my first loop. I twisted the ribbon. I'm about to make my second loop, and then I'm going to repeat that process 2 more times, and then I'll have my tail, and then I'll cut the ribbon. Again, if you want to see this in a little slower speed, this bow was made in part 4 of my How to Make a Bow series, so you can always refer to that in the playlist below. If you don't know how to get to the description box, by the way, when you scroll down below the video, there's something that says Show More. You just click that, and then the whole description box opens up. If you're on your phone or a smaller device, sometimes there's just a little down arrow that you would click and your description box would open up. So I've got my bow done. I'm going to take my tinsel stem, wrap it around the center of the bow, hold it in place while I lift it off the Easy Bow Maker, swing it around to the back and twist, twist, twist to hold it tightly. And I'm going to shape it a little bit. By being on the Easy Bow Maker, your bow can already kind of have shape. You saw when I had it on there, I was pointing some loops to the top and some loops to the bottom. So a lot of the shaping is already done, which is one of the things I like about the Bow Maker. So I decided, again, like the other one, to kind of pinch the ribbon that's on the box already, and I'm showing them how I'm going to do that from side to side. I'm just going to take that tinsel stem that's on the back of the bow, and I'm going to wrap it around there and twist it tightly enough that it draws up the ribbon a little bit. And it just kind of accentuates the bow by squeezing that bottom ribbon toward the bow. Yep, you see how I did that? And now I'm just going to snip off the extra piece of tinsel stem, kind of tuck it up underneath. And because I mashed my bow all up, I got to shape it again. No problems, because it's wired ribbon. It very easily falls back into shape as you kind of fluff it up. So I got this on here, and it was kind of hanging off the side, the tails are, and I decided I wasn't really crazy about how it was looking. It's just like it wasn't falling off the side correctly. But I went ahead and cut my dovetails, thinking it through, make sure I cut the right direction this time. So I crinkled it up to give a little bit of effect, cut my dovetails, played with it a little bit, and then decided I want to twist it. Yeah, I think I do. So because it's wired and it's got that tinsel wire holding it, I could very easily just twist it around. So I like it hanging off of the box this way so that the box will be lengthwise, and it gives you more room for that ribbon, the tails of the ribbon, to have more of a dramatic effect. I think it works out a lot better. Kind of cute, right? With everything being done, I decided to go back and add a couple florals to the boxes just to make them a little more cutesy. So I cut off some stems from some Dollar Tree flowers I picked up, and I picked them up just for this purpose, so I'd have some decorative items to add to my gifts. I also picked up, so many things you can use: florals, ornaments. bells, reindeer. Your decorative part of your bow can actually become a gift. So like if you like to start a tradition of having little ornaments each year that you can give out to friends and family on their gifts, that's just such a cute idea. I'm just going to use some florals, and I'm using poinsettias because I'm going to be using them a lot in my Christmas decor this year, as you'll see when I show my tree. So I'm hoping to have my tree video up on Sunday. So I hope you'll hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you can see it once I get it done. It is coming out really nice. I'm really happy with it, and I think you'll like it too. So I've moved on to the second box because it's got so many loops to this bow. I decided to just add one flower to the very center. It didn't need a whole lot. So again, it's a white poinsettia from Dollar Tree, and it has a little bit of gold on the edges of the petals. So again, now that I've pressed into that center, I have to fluff a little bit, not a whole lot. Just make sure each of those loops is nice and full. And for this tailored bow, again, it's got so much drama on its own, I just decided to add a simple poinsettia to the very center of the bow. And again, the nice gold center and the gold trim on the petals just catches the gold that's already in the bow. So I cut off the back stem as short as possible without having the flower come apart, and added some hot glue to the back, and I'm just going to hold it here in place while it adheres to the box. So if you hang in there a minute, I'll show you how these boxes look under the tree. And again, I hope you'll tune back in again later to see how I fully decorated this tree. All right, I thank you for spending this time with me, and I'll be talking with you again real soon.